All right, it is almost lunchtime, and if you don't know what you're in the mood for, we've got something special for you.
That's right, with an eclectic menu, this next restaurant has a little bit of everything.
That's right, our Michelle Oliver is taking us to Ann Arbor to dine in the D at Sava.
For Sava running a restaurant is in her blood.
I grew up a hospitalitarian. Hospitality is sort of the hallmark of my culture, which is why you see so many Albanians working in the restaurant industry these days. I started bussing tables, and I've literally done every job in the restaurant industry.
So in 2007, she opened her namesake restaurant, Sava's.
It started actually as a much smaller space across the street, and in 2009 I moved into this space. So this was sort of one of those post-recession opportunities that was a little risky, but I was just young enough and just gutsy enough to, and just crazy enough to take on the opportunity.
The restaurant is colorful and fun, with unique items that catch the eye.
The atmosphere that we wanted to create here was something that was very high energy, very exciting, yet very approachable. I was a transplant here like many people are, and I fell in love with the community, and I thought I could create a space that would be a real melting pot.
And their food is just as eclectic and worldly as their decor.
It's American style cuisine, and it's really eclectic, it's very local. You've got people coming from all over the world to attend the University of Michigan, so we're constantly forced to innovate, and you've kind of got to be ahead of the curve if you're in this type of environment.
A great example of this is their salmon wild rice bowl, which is packed with flavor. We start off with a giant slab of salmon, which they clean and butcher in-house.
What you're going to do is you're going to take your knife, make an incision first towards the tail piece, and then you're going to reverse the direction. You're doing just fine. You want to imagine scraping the skin, right? So you really visualize the idea of drawing the knife against the skin.
Look at how smooth you just did that.
Right?
We cut the slab into 6-ounce pieces and put it on the grill to cook.
What we're going to do now is we're going to saute the butternut squash and the red onion together. So saute, the origin of the word is to jump. So when we are tossing our ingredients, that's what the term came from. And if you want to be a pro and you want to toss the ingredients really nice, you use the edge of the pan. Work the ingredients to the very edge of the pan, and then just make one motion forward. Perfect.
Ah, there we go. Cool. Then we toss in some wild rice and a touch of tamarind glaze.
We'll go very slow on this because, again, it's a really strong flavor, and we're going to glaze the salmon with it.
We also cook up a ginger scallion marinade.
We've infused some oil with some star anise, some cinnamon, and some clove.
To that, we add some shallots, garlic, and ginger.
In a restaurant, there's a higher salt content than the food that you use at home. You season every single component, and you're building and layering flavors.
We mix that with some freshly cut scallions and a bit of that tamarind glaze to make the marinade. Once everything's done cooking, it's time to plate.
I'm a total thoroughbred restaurant girl. Like, I was born for this.
Wow.
Everything looked amazing, and the wonderful Kenny G is hanging out for a little while longer.
The special ingredients for the food are right in here.
And of course, Sava is here, the owner of the restaurant. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having us here today.
We're
and
delighted
what
to
a
have
treat,
you.
I get to hang out with Kenny G.
Absolutely.
Music and food go well together,
They really
I think.
do, yeah.
And speaking of food, let's talk about this beautiful spread that you brought in. What do we have in front of us?
Yeah, so we've got some of our favorite items from the restaurant, one of them being the Sava's Greek salad here. We've got a porchetta panini with our mac and cheese, which is like our best-selling item for the past 10 years, so we brought that today. We've got our black bean burger with our sweet potato fries. We do breakfast, lunch, and dinner, so we've got our huevos rancheros here, which is very popular. The salmon dish that you saw on TV is also here today. And then, of course, our pork and kimchi nachos, and the kimchi is from Brinery in Ann Arbor.
Very nice.
So, yeah, lots of local ingredients and local flair here.
Good stuff, good stuff. Now, we were kind of talking off camera a bit, but you started the restaurant very young.
Yeah.
What was that like?
It was hard and thrilling and also very improvisational, but, you know, I was able to experiment and, you know, came up with what we have today, which is a very popular and Awesome restaurant in Ann Arbor.
Are you calling dibs on anything, Kenny, down there?
Well, I'm hungry. I want the breakfast one. This huevos rancheros sounds really good
It's a
to
really
me.
good
That's
one.
always delicious. Well, I already know what Jason wants. He wants these wontons right here.
What's in
Because
the
he already
wonton?
called dibs on it.
Kimchi,
And pork.
Wow.
Ground pork. Seasoned ground.
a little Korean flair.
I thought you were going to
Yeah.
faint there for a second. You all right?
Now, did your parents cook, or is that how you learned to do this? Why did you do it so young?
Yeah, you know, I actually started working in restaurants when I was 13 and just kind of fell in love with it and just kind of stayed the course. And now, you know, 20 years later, I'm dating myself, I own a couple of restaurants in Ann Arbor. So.
And are your recipes, can you find them online? Because I want to know how to make that mac and
She's like,
cheese.
absolutely
You
not.
don't, because it's got way too many calories in it for you. So you just have it at Sava's. But
There you
no, the
go.
recipes are not online, and most of them we've developed ourselves over the years. The Greek dressing we've been selling for 10 years, so we developed that. So, you know, they're just, you know, things that we've added to the menu.
But everybody likes to cook these days. I mean, we're all foodies now. We go online, we find the chefs. So I'm intrigued with everything you've got here.
Well, I
It looks
can't wait for you
great.
to try it.
I was going to say, I just can't wait to come and eat your food.
Yeah,
So just remind everyone where you're located.
So we are on, we're in Ann Arbor at 216 South State Street, right downtown. That's where Sava's is located. So yeah, when you're in Ann Arbor, come
drop
visit.
by. Well, hey, you guys might be in luck because if you want to try Sava's, we are giving away 4 $50 gift cards to the restaurant and her other restaurant, Aventura, right?
Yeah.
So to enter, just go to our Live in the D Facebook page. Contest rules are at clickondetroit.com. Boom.
All right.
And you're open for dinner as well?
Yeah, breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Dinner there. Come to the Emerald Theater after for the show. That's what you're doing tonight.
All
Perfect.
right.
Perfect. And next
Perfect
on Live,
combo.
exactly. Next on Live in